Hi everyone, David MacDonald here from Vitality Fitness Calgary, and today we're going to go over your exercise of the week. Today our exercise of the week is a one-legged deadlift. So a little bit of an advanced movement, but there's definitely a couple ways that you can modify it and make it a little bit easier. So one-legged deadlift, awesome exercise for developing strength through the glutes, the hamstrings. Okay, you also get some core strength involved as you are having to stabilize through here. Okay, you also get the lower back involved a little bit as a secondary muscle. So great overall exercise. Now, it is quite advanced. A lot of people don't have the stability through their glutes to be able to do this properly. So I always recommend that you start off with either body weight or some light weight of some kind. Okay, or going against a bench or a wall, which I'll show you later. So one-legged deadlift. A couple things we want to remember when we're starting these. Number one, we're going to be obviously on one leg. We want to have a slight bend in the knee. So that's going to be step one. Step two is making sure that we're hinging back. Okay, so when I say hinging back, that's going to refer to the movement that you're doing through the hips. So the hinging aspect is where most people have trouble. Most people when they hinge tend to not push their hips back, and they tend to kind of fall forward a bit without actually engaging through the glutes and hamstrings. Okay, so that hinging aspect is going to be really important. I'm going to give you a couple of tips on how to hinge properly. Okay, the other thing we want to make sure we're doing is we're engaging the abs. So there's a couple ways you can engage the abs more. You can squeeze, like embrace like someone's going to punch you. Okay, the other one that I prefer is you want to pull your rib cage down towards your hip bone. So rib cage pulls down towards the hip bone. Okay, so hopefully you guys were able to see everything contracting there. So rib cage to hip bone, that's my personal favorite. You can choose whatever you'd like. So one-legged deadlift, that's how we're going to set up. Now when we're hinging back, what we want to make sure we're doing is the upper body is staying nice and tall, and the upper body should literally be the last thing that moves. So all the movement's going to take place here as opposed to the upper body. So again, we don't want to be dumping forward. The upper body should only come forward because your hips are going back really far. So one-legged deadlift, I'm going to show you what this looks like. So we're going to bend that knee, we're going to be hinging, that other leg is going to be extending. You guys notice that my upper body is coming forward slowly. It's the last thing to come forward. All the movements in the hips, and then I'm driving through. Okay, and I'm coming forward. So one thing that you can look at, I'll give you guys an analogy. It's kind of funny, I'm laughing to put it right now. Is you guys ever see that lawn ornament? You know, that goes down and gets the water, it's that little bird. Okay, everyone has seen that, I'm sure, at some point throughout the summer or spring. That's what you want your one-legged deadlift to look like, in a sense. It's one fluid motion taking place from the hips. Now, you don't want to go as fast as that bird usually goes, but that's what you want to think about, is one fluid motion, not pushing back and then bending forward. You're coming forward because your hips are going back. So again, if we're going to pretend like we're that bird that's going to get the water, that upper body is only moving because those hips are going back really far. Okay, and we're getting that glute and hamstring involved. Okay, and then we're standing up. So that's a one-legged deadlift. Now, a couple things you can do to make this easier. First thing I would do would be starting with body weight. Okay, not doing any kind of weights before you get the technique down, before you can be able to execute the technique for at least 10 to 15 reps with good form. Second thing you can do, if you guys want to follow me over here, is you can do one-legged deadlift either on a bench or you can do it against a wall. Okay, the benefit of this is we're taking away some of that instability you might experience. Okay, if you're weaker through the hips and glutes, and you don't have the ability to maintain stability throughout the movement, you feel like you're falling or you feel like you're going to fall, you can use that bench, okay, or the wall. Okay, either or would work. For people starting out that have never done this before, okay, and that want to, practice their one-legged deadlifts, wall might be a bit better, okay, because it's more solid. If I happen to fall, the wall is going to catch me. If I happen to fall, my hand slips, then I might go over the bench. We don't want that to happen. So, you get one hand either on the bench or the wall. Again, we're hinging, only moving through the hips. The upper body is only coming forward because the hips are going back. Okay, and wherever your range of motion is, it's going to really depend on how far you can go down. Some of you might only be able to go down to here. Some might be more. It's all going to depend on how tight you are in these muscles. So that's the one-legged deadlift. Great exercise for the butt and hamstring muscles. All the modifications that we went over, or the bench modification, Also going along the wall, you want to go nice and slow. You want to make sure that you're not going too heavy, ideally starting with body weight if you've never done this movement before. That's our exercise of the week. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.